Hey guys, and welcome back. Today I'm gonna be touching up. I'm always talking about the grand jury's decisions, the grand jury's indictments. Just to give you guys an understanding, the grand jury was in place so uh, corruption within the actual uh, governing authorities around small towns, around big towns, around big cities, uh, they could actually hold secret, actual uh, evidence, gather testimony from actual witnesses on a basically on like on a whistleblower's actual level. That way, there's no actual vendettas. There's no actual how do you say like revenge on certain employees or actual witnesses, and they're meant to be in secret. They're meant to be behind closed doors. But unfortunately, some actual information gets leaked out and people get hurt. And today I'm going to be speaking on this individual who was in the grand jury's actual crosshairs on a couple of actual cases. One of them was actually had to do with actual healthcare fraud, but there was also a different case that was actually implicating him in a homicide. And he actually got wind of this. He actually was somehow he got notified that there was an actual witness that could implicate him in the actual homicide, and he actually tried and attempted to contact this certain witness, and that's a big mistake, because that's witness tampering, and when you're actually it doesn't look good when you're actually going up against a grand jury indictment and the actual case around that. That's it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good, and it's not going to be good outcome for you. So apparently he tried to make contact with this witness, and he definitely knew who was actually this individual was, who actually had testimony on him, and he sent out two assassins to actual murder this actual witness. And like I've said in other videos, if you have somebody killed that's gonna testify against you, and they've actually given out their actual information, it doesn't matter. That information is already gonna be as actual testimony at your trial anyways, for the fact that she's no longer, or he or she is no longer around, because you had her actual killed. And so therefore that testimony that she's presented to the grand jury will be admissible in the actual courtroom, even though the person's already it's already been killed. So apparently he sent out these two assassins to actually murder this witness, and later, as soon as they gather up evidence on this actual two individuals, they actually can verify that they actually passed through this victim's block in front of her house at the same time in two different vehicles. They actually passed by and confirmed this lady's actual address and her house. They pick her house out, and they're both aware of actually who they're out to actually hit. And they return the next morning. They lay up. They're actually waiting for this witness to actually step out of her home, and they're just laying in wait, right? So as they're waiting, they proceed to see a lady actual come out of her house and go towards her actual vehicle, which at that time they made contact with her, The lady tries to flee, tries to run, doesn't get far. She gets gunned down. And these two individuals take off running into an unknown vehicle and take off and get away, you know. So now the detectives roll up. They're trying to actually figure out a motive. You know, this actual victim was not robbed. It was no, it wasn't any kind of a domestic violence. She lived with her mom. That was at her mom's house. So they're trying to figure out. They're puzzled why this actual individual was murdered, right? Well, a couple of days later, the actual a neighbor calls law enforcement and informs them that, you know what, that actual hit was probably intended for her as a target. These guys got the wrong person, got the wrong house. They jumped the gun. They got antsy, nervous. These guys were not professional, and hit the actual first person that came out of one of the houses. It was a neighboring house next door, and killed this innocent lady. Gunned her down in front of her home. I don't know if they had a picture of this lady. I don't know if there was a mistake or they just wanted to get rid of this actual order that they had for them, you know, but it's sad, you know, it's sad because, you know, this lady had nothing to do with this. She was just taking care of her mom, working, and on her way to work. And she lost her life. And they got the wrong address, got the wrong person. Alright guys, don't forget to like and subscribe.